Wonderful. Well, welcome back, everyone, to the Parkinson's Foundation's Mindfulness Mondays. I think we know the gist by now. Everyone will be muted for the session today. Just a quick reminder that the environment that you choose to practice mindful meditation can influence your experience. So thinking about smells or sounds that might be in the room that could influence you in your experience as we meditate together today. Can choose to be on camera or not. I love to see your shining faces. If you're comfortable with it, feel free to turn that camera on. And just a note, our next live English session will be on June 3rd. So next week is our Spanish programming. And then following that, Monday is Memorial Day. And I won't be here because I'll be in the trees camping with some friends and family. So I will see you guys on June 3rd, and that will be with Nico Hazy. Okay, awesome. I want to thank the Light of Day Foundation, whose generosity has made this programming possible. So grateful for their generosity. The Parkinson's Foundation provides weekly education and wellness programs virtually through our PD Health at Home series that includes Mindfulness Mondays, You Found Us, Wellness Wednesdays, and our Fitness Fridays, our expert briefings, and our Spanish language programming, Ipi Salud en Casa. This Wellness Wednesday, the topic is home safety and modifications for aging in place. Parkinson's disease may impact our ability to live safely and independently in our homes. Adapting your home to create a safer environment can lower the risk of PD-related injuries and allow you to successfully what we call age in place. During this webinar, we'll highlight home safety as well as practical PD tailored modifications that can make around the home, that you can make around the home to keep you safe and independent longer. So join me on Wednesday this week for exploring home safety and modifications for aging in place. And I don't know if any of you have been hanging out on our Fitness Fridays, but our live Fitness Friday is this week. We've been showcasing a community on top of the world in Central Florida. They are so much fun. We've been having lots of energy for our Fitness Fridays, and the live session with Cammie and Sue is this Friday. We'll be punching out PD. It's a power workout. We'll incorporate intervals of high-intensity power movements like squats and punching, along with functional strength exercises that support activities of daily living. So we'll also be able to do this seated and standing. So come one, come all. Would love to see you in movement this Friday together. And welcoming back our Dr. Taylor Rush from the Cleveland Clinic, who will be sharing with us guidance in stability and finding some grounded meditation. Dr. Rush, thank you.
Thank you, Krista. It's good to see everyone today. And I don't know about with where you guys are, but here in Cleveland, we've actually been having some beautiful weather. This past week, we've had some really nice days and then some really rainy days intermittently. And so spring's an interesting season. And I was actually able to take some walks and get outside. And I think living in Cleveland, I've come to really appreciate the nice days even more, given that we have some very contrasting days sometimes. And I was thinking a little bit about the changing of the seasons. And, as here for us, we're transitioning into this more spring-like condition. For some of you, depending on where you live, it may even be transitioning into more summer-like conditions, perhaps. And it's so interesting because it comes, I think, with this sense of anticipation of what's coming up next, in terms of the season and the types of activities that we do, and what we might also be leaving behind. And, I wonder for you guys, as we are on the cusp of these seasonal transitions, is there anything that you feel like you're going to miss? Anything that you're, feeling like, gosh, I'm going to miss this about spring, or I'm going to miss this about winter? I know, like for me, we have, I like winter and its coziness, and sometimes just being able to, hole up under a blanket and, be able to have those moments of respite and peace. And let's see, Bab says, will not miss the rainy season out there in Oregon. Yes, I'm sure you guys get quite a bit of that, actually. And so it kind of prevents, I'm sure, some things that you may want to do outdoors. So might mean that you're looking forward to something more. Krista said, I'm going to miss the slow that comes with winter. Someone said, I'll miss the snow. Someone said that they're looking forward to spring. They love spring. Oh, Julie said she's going to miss her warm slippers. I totally understand that. Yeah, yeah. There's nothing like a cozy pair of slippers that keep your feet actually warm, which is really nice. And so, I think, these seasonal changes give us pause and I think also help us to recognize some of the impermanence of the seasons that many things in life are, impermanent, so seasons are impermanent and many of our experiences in life are also impermanent and they're cyclical and changing, year by year, season by season, sometimes even day by day or hour by hour. And for many of my folks that I work with who have Parkinson's, they know this better than most because there's a lot that changes in life as a result of managing Parkinson's. There's changes to relationships, there's changes to one's physical health and capacities. And even, within the course of a day, depending on medication schedules, depending on demands, people will notice some changes and transitions in what their body and their minds can do from hour to hour. And while sometimes it's comforting to know that certain experiences are not going to remain the same and they are impermanent, especially ones that we don't particularly like, for those, it's, where it's more the stuff that we do like, it can be grief provoking to know that it's impermanent. And so, it's an interesting experience to kind of go through these different ebbs and flows because change is always present in our lives. But I do believe that having Parkinson's really brings that part of it to the forefront, really makes us have to think about change in a different way. And what I really like about mindfulness is that it acknowledges and embraces the natural, constant change that occurs in all of our lives. And it encourages acknowledgement and acceptance of those changes. And, it's often a knee-jerk reaction for us to resist or try to ignore certain changes that we don't like. But when we do that, there's kind of a ripple effect where it can leave us feeling discontent, it can leave us feeling out of control, and sometimes can leave us feeling a bit stuck in negative emotions. And so I think it can sometimes be useful to use our powers of mindfulness to practice meditations that focus on the expectation of change, but also our own strength and intentionality. And so recognizing that change may occur around us as well as within us, but there can be a core sense that anchors us to ourselves and the present moment of our experience so that we can feel a sense of peace and stability despite change and unpredictability that occur around us. So I thought I would bring back a mountain meditation today. This is one that I have done in the past, but I think it's been a couple years, so I thought we could recycle it and delve back into it since I think we certainly have some new folks since that time. So this is, and I always want to give credit where credit is due. This is a meditation that was originally constructed by John Kabat-Zinn, who's one of our modern fathers of secularized mindfulness. And he has created a script for mountain meditation that has been used for many, many years. So this is an adapted script based on his original meditation. So for those of you who have been with us before, as you know, let's go ahead and get into a comfortable position. So allowing the weight of your body to be supported behind you and under you. Whether you're in a chair, on a couch, on a bed, just feeling the support behind your back and under your hips. And you can certainly close your eyes if that is comfortable for you. For others, it may be more comfortable to find a soft focus a few feet in front of you where you can gaze and anchor your vision. And for this one, we are going to be painting a mental image. So in some cases, you can close your eyes to picture it. And if you need to reopen to kind of ground, that's okay too. And as you begin to anchor to this moment, turning attention briefly to the rhythm of your breath, feeling the slow wave of your breath in, watching it crest as your lungs fill, watching it diminish as the breath leaves your body. Just finding the cadence of your breath, allowing that to be a fixed point for your focus. Fully linking to this moment. As you anchor here, consider letting an image form in your mind of the most beautiful mountain you have ever seen. Slowly seeing the details come into focus. And even if it doesn't come to you as a visual image, allowing the sense of the mountain to come into your body, feeling its shape, peaks of the mountain high in the sky, the base rooted in the earth's crust, with steep and some gentle slopes. And noticing how huge it is, how solid, how grounded. From afar or up close. Maybe your mountain has snow capping its top, perhaps greener trees reaching down the base, maybe some jagged granite sides. You may notice streams and waterfalls. There could be one or many peaks to the mountain, maybe even some meadows, pools of water or lakes. As you notice the qualities of those mountains that you've painted in your minds, see if you can bring the mountain into your own body. so that your body and the mountain become one as you sit here. The massiveness and stillness of the mountain is within you. Your head becomes the lofty peak, supported by the rest of your body, allowing a wide frame view. Shoulders and arms are the sloping sides of the mountain. Your hips, legs, and feet are the solid base, rooted to your chair, the floor, experiencing a sense of uplift from deep within your hips and your spine. And then we can return to the cadence of your breath. Imagining a breathing mountain, alive and teeming with life, yet unwavering in your stillness. As you embody this mountain, becoming aware that as the sun travels across the sky, light and shadows and colors are changing moment by moment. We can feel the life within the mountain, the streams, the waterfalls, the plants, the animals, that change their activity depending on that light. And as the mountain sits, you can see and feel how night follows day, day follows night. The bright, warm sun is followed by a cool night sky, with the gradual dawning of a new day yet again. And even as the mountain experiences change in each moment, it's always just being itself. It remains still as the seasons flow into one another, and as the weather changes moment by moment, with calmness abiding all change. During the summer, there's much little, much less, or very little snow on the mountain, except maybe for a few peaks that are shielded from direct light. In the fall, the mountain might be covered in brilliant fire of different leaves. And in winter, that might be muted by blankets of snow and ice. None of this really matters to the mountain. which at all times continues to remain itself. Clouds and fog may come and go. Its beauty is not changed by weather or what's seen. It just sits by itself. At times, it may even be visited by intense storms, pelted by snow and rain and wind. But the mountain continues to sit. Spring may come and trees start to bud. Things become green and colorful again. Animals may become more active. Snow melts. And through it all, the mountain continues to be unmoved by weather or what happens on the surface, remaining stable, grounded. And in the same way, as we sit here in this meditation, we can learn to experience the mountain with the same quiet and stillness, even in the face of everything that changes our lives. Because we do experience change constantly in our mind, in our body, the outer world. Moments of light and dark, activity and dormancy, color and grayness. By becoming the mountain, we can connect with its strength and stability and adopt them for our own. We can help to see our thoughts and feelings and preoccupations and emotional storms similar to the weather on the mountain. And the weather is not to be ignored or denied, but encountered, honored, and held in awareness. And in holding it, we come to know a deeper silence and wisdom. So in our time that remains, continue to sustain this mountain meditation on your own, moment by moment, until we come back to our virtual room in just a minute. When you're ready, start to maybe make a few intentional movements to bring yourself back to our space. Thanking the mountain for the peace it may have provided, knowing you can always come back. As you start to wiggle your fingers and toes, shift in your seat a little bit. Coming back to your body and opening your eyes when the time feels right. Starting to see some eyes open. As folks start to come back, would love to hear your thoughts on today's meditation because, as we know, each practice is like sampling water from a stream, right? Each time it's something a little different. And some days it's you really get into it and it can be really enjoyable or fun or enlightening. And other days it feels like we're in the midst of the storm on the mountain and it can be a little bit more challenging. And those are all good things to notice, the positives, the struggles, and otherwise. So it looks like Bab said that she loved the imagery, being objective and creating this thought is tough. Need to tune into these and make it happen myself. It can be hard. So yeah, sometimes, we need that extra guidance or, an external narrative that helps us to paint the picture. And that's completely okay. That's not a cheat code. That is, just knowing what you need to make this kind of practice work for you. And Kieran said that it was a wonderful practice and they want to be like a mountain too. And Shelley said, I'll now look out my window at the Cascade Mountains with a new reminder that change doesn't take my inner strength and rooting. Yes, it's lovely when you can actually look at mountains in real life. And some people had actual mountains that they were able to conjure through their own experiences, which is fantastic. Yeah, I really like the mountain meditation because I think there's something so incredibly simple in its spirit, right? It's just creating this vision that we can then embody for ourselves. And, to be able to do that, whenever we feel that sense of chaos or the ground shifting beneath us, can be such an incredibly empowering experience. Someone said, Rocksteady came to mind and pictured the mountain and Mamma Mia with a chapel at the top where my mind would be. I like that. Someone was envisioning Denali as they visited that last year, Mount Rainier, Matterhorn. You guys have seen some pretty impressive mountains. I'm liking it. You are a very creative bunch. So be amazing to be in each of your minds to see these mountainscapes. They're beautiful. Yeah, Krista said taking notes on these mountains to visit friends. So there's always a list, right? So I want to be respectful of our time. We are at 1:30, but thank you guys so much for journeying with me to our mountainscapes today. And I hope that they can be a helpful image for you as you proceed with your week. And as always, I'm so grateful to be here and share this time with you guys. And I look forward to seeing you again next month.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rush. And just a gentle reminder, our next live English session will be on June 3rd. Tune into our archived recordings on YouTube, on our website, and we'll see you then mindfully on June 3rd. Thank you, Dr. Rush, and thanks to all of you for continuing to be present and mindful in your lives. See you soon.